Hey there, mathematicians. I hope you're buckled in and ready because today we are going to be using place value to divide, but we're also going to be looking at two different ways to do it. We're going to be looking at repeated subtraction and partial products. So let's start off with the problem. John's building a backyard pizza oven with an arch opening. He has 72 bricks. He will place 6 bricks at a time as he builds the oven. If he arranges the bricks in piles of 6, how many piles will he have? Well, I know he's going to be dividing because I see a pile of 72. And if he's placing them in 6 bricks and in piles of 6, I'm going to divide by 6. We can use repeated subtraction to find the answer. So he starts off with 72 bricks, and he makes his first pile. So I subtract 6. 2 minus 6, I need to regroup. 12 minus 6 is 6. So he's got 66 left to sort. So he'll take 6 more. And then he'll have 60. And I subtract it another time. He'll take 6 more. And he'll have 54. I still have more to subtract, so I'm going to go up here. 4 minus 6, I can't do it, so I'm going to regroup. 14 minus 6 is 8. I bring down the 4. I take away another 6. 8 minus 6 is 2. I take away another 6. I need to regroup this time. I take away another 6. I still have 30 bricks. I'm still subtracting. 10 minus 6 is 4. I'm down to 24. I'm getting closer. 14 minus 6 is 8. I can still keep subtracting. Oh, I'm almost done. 12 minus 6 is 6. And 6 minus 6 is 0. Whew! Let's see how many piles he made to finally find my answer. He subtracted once, twice, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I finally get to my answer. He'll have 12 piles. Now let's do one together. If you don't have notebook paper, pause the video so you can get some to show your teacher your notes and evidence of watching the video. There were 45 pieces of candy and 9 students to share them with. How many did each student get? Use repeated subtraction. Try it on your own first. So 45 pieces of candy, and it looks like we're separating them into 9 piles for each student. Pause the video and use repeated subtraction to solve the problem. Let's see how you did. If we had 45 pieces of candy and we were sharing them with 9 students, I'm going to need to subtract 9 each time. When I look at 5 minus 9, I need to regroup, and I get 36. I'm going to take 9 away to get 27. I'm going to take 9 away again to get 18. I'm going to take 9 away again. Almost done. And then I count up how many times I subtracted 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So each student will get 5 pieces of candy. Whew. I don't know about you, but that was some kind of strategy. And it was a lot of work. Repeated subtraction is definitely one way to solve division problems, but it is not my favorite. We're going to be using some bigger numbers, and that would take us forever. So we're going to look at another way. Partial quotients is that other way, and I love this strategy because it helps me build on what I know about multiplication problems. So let's go back to this problem. John's building that backyard pizza oven, and he's got 72 bricks, and I know he's putting them in piles of 6. So my problem looks like this. 72, and I'm dividing by 6. So I know that I need to put them in groups of 6. I'm going to think about some easy things I know. I know that piles of 6 grouped by 10 would be 60 bricks. So he would make 10 stacks of 6, and he would use up 60, because 6 times 10 is 60. That means he has 12 left over. I know that 6 times 2 is 12. So then I look at the groups. I made a group of 10, and I made a group of 2. 10 and 2 is 12. So he would make 12 piles, just like I found out in that long repeated subtraction problem. Let's look at another problem using this strategy. At camp, there are 5 players on each lacrosse team. If there are 125 people on lacrosse teams, how many teams are there? I underline what's important. There's 125 people and 5 players on each team. So I know I'm going to need to take 125 players and put them in teams of 5. I'm looking at what I know about 5. I know that 10 groups of 5 equal 50, because 5 times 10 is 50. So I'm going to make a group of 50 and take that away from my total. When I subtract, I have 75 left. I can make another group of 50, because 5 times 10 is 50. And then I've got 25 left. I know that 5 can go into 25 5 times. And I used up all my players to make even teams. Now I'm going to add together the groups that I made. I made one group of 10, another group of 10, and a group of 5. So I made 25 teams. Now I want you to do this one with me, which means I want you to do this problem and write it down so you can kind of see the strategy and have it on your paper before you do one by yourself. Sorry for that interruption. So now we're looking at this problem again. Lacrosse is played on a field 330 feet long. How many yards long is a lacrosse field? If 3 feet equals 1 yard. So I know I'm going to need to take 330, which is the total length of the field, and divide it by 3. Remember that I'm going to be using partial products. So I'm going to do this 2 different ways. And you are going to be writing this down along with me. So I've got 3. And I know that 3 times 100 is 300. So I'm going to make 100 groups of 3, which is 300, which means I have 30 left. I know if I've got 30 left, I can make 3 groups of 10. Now I can add together my quotients and get 110 yards. Now if I did this another way and I took 330 by 3, I could still work with groups of 10. It's just going to take me a lot longer. So I could say 3 groups of 10 is 30. Another 3 groups of 10 is 30. Another 3 groups of 10 is 30. This looks a lot like repeated subtraction, doesn't it? Only I'm grouping them together. 3 groups of 10. 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 I see an end in sight. 3 groups of 10. And then my last 3 groups of 10. And again, I add these together, and I still get the same answer, 110. But when I look at hundreds first, because I have enough, boy, that saves me a lot of time. Now we're going to practice one more. Let's read it together and decide on what the problem is going to look like. Dominic wants to put his collection of football cards into exact piles to put in plastic bags. He has 522 football cards, and 3 cards can fit in 1 plastic bag. How many plastic bags will he need? You're going to take 522 football cards and put them into groups of 3. Pause the video while you give partial products a try. Now let's solve it together. I know 3 groups of 100 is 300. I know 3 groups of 10 is 30. Three groups of 10 is 30. Three groups of 10 . 3 groups of 10. This is going to take a while. 3 groups of 10. 3 groups of 10. Another 3 groups of 10. Whew! All right, now I don't have enough for 3 groups of 10, but I know that I can take 12 and make 4 groups of 3. And when I add up my products, 100, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 74, my answer will be 174 plastic bags. Now that was a pretty hard problem. I think the ones that you're going to have on your check are going to be a little easier. So now it is time for your check. You're going to complete your lesson check that accompanies today's video and make sure to include the work for the problems on your notes today to bring to class to show your teacher tomorrow. Remember that if you did not understand partial products or repeated subtraction, you'll have another opportunity tomorrow to practice that with your teacher in small group. Hope this video helped you get a little glimmer of what's to come for your math class tomorrow.